When we talk about authenticity over illusion, we're diving into one of the most liberating truths of human existence. You were born to be real, not perfect. So often, people put on masks, filters that hide their true selves. These filters can be the desire to please others, the fear of judgment, or the overwhelming need to look a certain way. But the truth is, when you cover up who you really are, you're living a shadow of your potential, trapped in an illusion that only limits you. Authenticity is about stripping away those masks and standing in the raw, unedited version of yourself. It means embracing your scars, your flaws, your mistakes, your dreams, and even your doubts. Because when you are authentic, you no longer live to meet external expectations. You live to honor your own truth. And let me tell you, there is no greater power than living aligned with your deepest values and your true identity. Think about the energy it takes to keep up appearances. Constantly managing how you're seen, how you're judged, and how you think you should behave. That's exhausting. But when you choose authenticity, you release that burden. You free up energy to channel into what really matters: growth, connection, and contribution. The moment you decide to be authentic, you take back control of your life. You stop being a prisoner of other people's opinions and become the master of your own destiny. Here's the kicker: authenticity inspires others. When you're real, you give permission for people around you to be real too. It creates an environment where vulnerability is strength and honesty is currency. People don't connect with your filtered, polished version. They connect with the real you. And that connection is where true influence and impact are born. Now, I'm not saying being authentic is easy. It takes courage to show your true self in a world that rewards perfection and conformity. But courage is the bridge that connects who you are to who you're meant to become. Every step you take towards authenticity is a step towards freedom, fulfillment, and unstoppable power. Remember, your authenticity is your unique fingerprint on this world. No one else has your story, your perspective, your gifts. When you hide behind filters, you rob the world of your contribution. But when you choose authenticity, you unlock a force inside you that is one of a kind and absolutely irreplaceable. So today, make the decision to shed your filters. Stand tall in your truth. Celebrate your imperfections and your uniqueness. Because living authentically is not just a way to live. It's the only way to live an extraordinary life. Strength is not what most people think it is. It's not just about physical power or brute force. True strength is the unbreakable spirit that refuses to quit, the inner fire that keeps burning even when life knocks you down again and again. It's resilience, the ability to face adversity, absorb the pain, and keep moving forward with relentless determination. When you build resilience, you're training your mind and heart to respond differently to life's challenges. Instead of being overwhelmed or defeated by setbacks, resilient people see obstacles as stepping stones. They understand that failure is not a dead end, but a detour, an opportunity to learn, grow, and come back stronger. This is the kind of strength that separates the winners from the quitters. Strength means standing tall when the storm is raging. It means looking your fears in the eye and saying, "You will not define me." Every time you push through hardship, every time you keep going despite exhaustion or doubt, you're flexing your resilience muscle. And like any muscle, the more you exercise it, the stronger and more powerful it becomes. But resilience isn't about denying pain or pretending everything is okay. It's about embracing the struggle with courage and honesty. It's about feeling the discomfort fully and choosing to act anyway. This mindset is what transforms ordinary people into warriors of life. Those who don't just survive but thrive, no matter what comes their way. Here's the truth: life will test you. It will push you to your limits, and sometimes beyond. But resilience gives you the ability to bounce back. It's like a rubber band. No matter how far you stretch, it always snaps back stronger than before. When you cultivate resilience, you build a foundation of strength so solid that nothing can shake your core. Resilience is also a gift you give to others. When you demonstrate unwavering strength, you become a beacon of hope and inspiration. People around you see what's possible when you refuse to give up. Your resilience creates ripples, empowering others to find their own strength and rise above their challenges. So remember this, strength is not about perfection or never falling. It's about getting back up every time you fall, learning from the fall, and moving forward with even greater resolve. That's the power of resilience. It turns hardship into triumph and transforms pain into unstoppable momentum. Grace is the quiet power that balances strength. It's not about weakness or giving up. It's about moving through life's toughest moments with dignity, compassion, and poise. When the world pushes hard, grace allows you to respond with calm, not chaos, with kindness, not bitterness. This is where true power resides, in the ability to stay grounded no matter what's happening around you. Imagine grace as a tree bending in a storm. It doesn't resist the wind with stubborn force, risking a break. Instead, it sways, adapts, and endures. Grace means flexibility in the face of challenge. It means knowing when to hold firm and when to let go, trusting that every hardship is part of a bigger design that shapes you into a stronger, wiser person. Grace is also about how you treat yourself and others during difficult times. It's easy to be harsh or judgmental when life isn't going your way. But grace demands a different response, one of forgiveness, patience, and understanding. When you treat yourself with grace, you create space for healing and growth. When you extend grace to others, you build bridges instead of walls. This kind of grace requires strength of character. It's not passive or weak. In fact, it takes immense courage to be graceful in adversity, to choose love over anger, empathy over resentment. When you live with grace, you refuse to let hardship harden your heart. Instead, you allow it to soften your spirit and deepen your humanity. Grace also shapes how you show up in the world. It attracts people because it radiates peace and confidence. People naturally gravitate toward those who carry themselves with grace, especially during times of crisis. It's a magnetic quality that inspires others to be their best selves, even in the face of struggle. And remember, grace is a practice, not a one-time achievement. Some days you'll fall short, you'll react with frustration or impatience. That's human. But each day you can recommit to grace, to meet life with an open heart and steady spirit. Over time, this practice transforms you from the inside out. So let grace be your secret weapon. When combined with strength and resilience, it creates a powerful force that carries you through life's challenges with elegance and unwavering courage. With grace, you don't just survive adversity, you transcend it. Growth is not just something that happens to you. It's a mindset, a decision, a commitment to keep evolving no matter what. When you adopt a growth mindset, you refuse to be defined by your past failures, your circumstances, or your current limitations. Instead, you see every experience as an opportunity to learn, expand, and become more than you were yesterday. Life is constantly changing. Challenges will come, setbacks will happen, but growth is your way to stay ahead of those changes, to adapt, to improve, and to keep climbing higher. A growth mindset means you embrace discomfort because you know that's where transformation happens. You don't shy away from hard work or difficult lessons. You run toward them with excitement. One of the greatest gifts of growth is that it turns failure into feedback. When you fail, it's not a sign that you're broken or incapable. It's simply information. Growth teaches you to analyze what went wrong, adjust your strategy, and try again with more wisdom and power. This process is the engine behind every success story you've ever heard. Growth also means taking responsibility for your life. You stop blaming external factors or waiting for someone else to fix your situation. Instead, you become the architect of your own future. This sense of ownership creates a profound sense of empowerment and freedom because you realize that the power to change your life lies within you. But growth is not always easy or comfortable. It requires discipline, patience, and the willingness to step into the unknown. It means breaking old habits, challenging limiting beliefs, and pushing through fear. Yet, every step you take outside your comfort zone expands your capacity to handle greater challenges and achieve bigger victories. A growth mindset is contagious. When you commit to growing, you inspire those around you to do the same. Your energy creates momentum, sparking a ripple effect of transformation in your family, community, and even your workplace. Growth becomes not just personal, it becomes a movement that uplifts everyone you touch. So, decide today that you will never settle for less than your full potential. Embrace growth as a lifelong journey and a daily practice. Because when you grow, you don't just improve your life, you become a living example of what's possible when strength, grace, and growth combine to create unstoppable momentum. Perfectionism is one of the greatest illusions holding people back from their true potential. We get trapped in this endless loop of trying to be flawless, waiting for the perfect moment, or fearing that if we aren't perfect, we aren't worthy. But the truth is, perfection is a myth, an unattainable standard that only serves to paralyze you and steal your power. When you release perfectionism, you free yourself to take action, to be bold, and to embrace progress over perfection. You realize that done is better than perfect. Every successful person you admire has made mistakes, faced setbacks, and stumbled along the way. Their secret: they refused to let the fear of imperfection stop them. They moved forward anyway, imperfect and all. Perfectionism creates a filter that distorts reality. It makes you focus only on what's wrong or not enough. But life doesn't work that way. Growth and success come from embracing your flaws, learning from your failures, and daring to be imperfect. The more you accept your humanness, the more energy you have to channel into creating, connecting, and contributing. Letting go of perfectionism also means embracing vulnerability. It means showing up as you are, even if you feel exposed or uncertain. And here's the powerful secret: vulnerability breeds connection. People don't resonate with your polished, perfect image. They connect with your authentic, imperfect story. When you release the need to be perfect, you open the door to real influence and impact. Perfectionism also stifles creativity. It's the enemy of innovation because it limits your willingness to experiment and take risks. When you let go, you unlock your creative genius. You start to see challenges as opportunities and setbacks as lessons, which accelerates your growth and expands your possibilities. Remember, greatness is not about perfection. It's about commitment, courage, and consistent action. It's about showing up, learning, adjusting, and moving forward, no matter how imperfect the journey may be. When you release perfectionism, you reclaim your power and set yourself free to live a bold, fulfilled life. So today, make a commitment: stop chasing perfection and start chasing progress. Own your imperfections. Let your real, raw self shine, because that's where true power lies, in embracing the beauty of being perfectly imperfect. Vulnerability is often misunderstood as weakness, but in reality, it is one of the greatest sources of strength and empowerment you can ever tap into. When you remove the filters and stop hiding behind walls, you give yourself permission to be fully seen. Not just your successes, but your fears, doubts, and struggles too. That's where true courage lies. Showing vulnerability means stepping into uncertainty with an open heart. It means admitting when you don't have all the answers, when you're afraid, or when you've made mistakes. This kind of honesty breaks down barriers, both within yourself and in your relationships. It creates a powerful connection that builds trust, respect, and real influence. When you embrace vulnerability, you take control of your story. You no longer let shame, fear, or judgment dictate your life. Instead, you reclaim your narrative by choosing to be authentic, open, and human. That's empowerment, owning your truth and using it as fuel to rise stronger and bolder. Vulnerability also invites growth. When you allow yourself to be exposed, you open the door to learning and transformation. You become willing to take risks, make changes, and pursue your dreams without the paralyzing fear of failure. In that space, resilience is born, and your capacity to overcome expands exponentially. Moreover, vulnerability fosters deeper connections. People are drawn to those who are real and relatable. When you share your journey honestly, you inspire others to do the same, creating a community of support, encouragement, and shared strength. This collective power propels everyone forward. Remember, vulnerability is not about oversharing or self-pity. It's about courageous transparency. It's about standing tall in your humanity and trusting that your worth is not dependent on being flawless or invulnerable. When you live with this kind of authenticity, you become unstoppable. So today, I challenge you: drop the filters, embrace your vulnerability, and own your story with pride. Because in that space of raw truth, you find your greatest power. The power to inspire, to lead, and to live a life without limits. So now it's time to take everything you've heard today and put it into action. No more hiding behind filters. No more living a life half-lived or watered down by fear and doubt. You have everything inside you: the strength, the grace, and the unstoppable growth mindset to create a life beyond your wildest dreams. I want you to stand up right now and make this commitment to yourself. I will show up authentically. I will face my challenges with courage. I will move through life with grace. And I will never stop growing. Say it out loud. Own it. Feel it deep in your bones, because that declaration is your new foundation. Remember, greatness isn't about being perfect. It's about being real. It's about having the resilience to rise every time you fall. It's about leading with your heart and daring to be vulnerable. When you live without filters, you unleash your true power and inspire everyone around you to do the same. This is your moment. This is your life. No more waiting for the right time or the perfect conditions. The time to act is no double. Embrace your strength. Embody your grace. Ignite your growth. Step boldly into the fullness of who you are, unfiltered, unstoppable, and ready to change the world. Go out there and OWN your pace. OWN your power. ODO in your life.